Memories of various people. First of all, I would like to invite his younger son, Sanjeev Khan, who came from California, to say a few words about his father.
Thank you. First off, I want to thank everybody for coming. This means a lot. I know wherever he is in whatever way, he appreciates so many of these familiar faces that for so many I haven't seen you in so long, so it's been a very exciting, it's been a very nice, very powerful afternoon for me. I think the fact that I'm even standing up here right now is kind of a testament to him. I don't like public speaking. Most people don't like public speaking. And if there's one person throughout my entire life who kept encouraging me and telling me I was a great public speaker, it was my father. Whether I was 9 years old and doing a presentation on the state of Wyoming, or 35 years old and giving a keynote address at a developer conference, he always kind of did it. So this does feel appropriate that I am taking the opportunity to talk to you all. I've already actually written what kind of amounts to a eulogy. For those of you who haven't read it, it's actually in the program. I published it earlier. My daughter Iris likes it, so therefore, as far as I'm concerned, it's the greatest thing I've ever written. She's the only opinion that counts. So, but I do think with this unique audience, I do want to kind of talk about a little bit different stuff than the stuff I had mentioned there. And it's really because there's a unique bond that he had with each of you in this audience, and it's something that's really important to me because, you know, today in this day and age, we take for granted the idea of the person coming from India to America, being the software developer on the H-1B visa. I know I've hired a bunch of these people. It's almost becoming cliche, but in 1959 or 1960, the idea of somebody coming from India to America, making that big change, and especially at 30 years old where he already had another career, deciding to come up with a different career was a huge thing. And it, you know, to me, you know, as I write in my notes, I just called him the early Assamese explorer, right? Someone who was fearless, someone who was willing to try new and different things, to the point where he came over on a boat. He didn't even bother with a plane or anything like that. It's just amazing that he had the fortitude to do something like that. And it's something where he kind of tried to instill that in myself and my brother, whether it was trying new things, going far away to college, or even when I got the job to move out to California, there he was losing his son to 3,000 miles away, but he didn't flinch. He couldn't have been more proud of me, and that was really an important part of it, right? And this is a guy who went through everything from being around for the independence of India when he was 20 years old, to being a brown man and deep in the heart of Texas during the civil rights movement, right? He saw a lot, and yet he continued to encourage more of these sort of explorations, right down to the very end when he was willing to come out to California, even though the only people he knew were myself and my family out there in California. But he was unafraid of anything, and that was wonderful. But part of the challenges also of being that first person is that it's not a lot of fun to be the first person to do anything, right? You're the guinea pig, everybody thinks they know better, you're the first one that's out here, you're the first one getting married, you're the first ones having kids. And the fact is that there's a lot of people who gave him and my mother a lot of advice on how they should be, how they should raise me, and everything like that. And the fact is that I haven't forgotten it. A lot of you were in this room, and we weren't really crazy about a lot of the advice that you gave. I personally don't forget a lot of that stuff, but the beautiful thing about my father is that he did. He didn't hold grudges, he didn't get upset at people, he didn't judge people, he let people be. Right? And that's why he dies with no grudges, that's why he dies with no enemies, and that's why he dies with no regrets. He lived a wonderful, beautiful life. And in fact, one of the things that I was thinking as I was thinking through the time that I had with him was this idea of like, he never got flustered, he never got upset, he never got thrown off. And then, you know, just sort of as an anecdote, there was one time that I remember that he was a little thrown off, and I'll never forget it. And you know, it's the sort of thing that happens. There was this one time that I brought a girlfriend home, right? It was sort of a stunning thing because, like, oh my God, bringing a girlfriend home, and I walk her in, and there he is, and he's in a sweater vest and a tie, and he's stammering, and he's nervous, and I can't understand what's going on because I've never seen anything like this before. And it took me about 15 minutes to understand that. And I even asked him, I'm like, Dad, are you nervous? And he just had this sort of like devilish grin. And I don't know, if you remember my father, you remember he had this sort of smile sometimes. It's the same smile that I always laugh at because, quick side note, his passcode on his iPhone, now, hey, I can give away security, right? His passcode was 1926. And I asked, why is it 1926? And he gave me that devilish grin, which made me figure out that he was born in 1926 and not in 1929. So, you know, it is kind of like, it's weird, but with that devilish grin that he had at that time, and by the way, the devilish grin, if you ever want to see it again, my daughter Robin has it, so you'll notice it throughout the night, she still has that grin. But you know, in the course of that night when he met this girlfriend and everything, he knew that this was a big deal, and that's why he was flustered. And the truth of the matter is that 3 years later, it became his first daughter-in-law, and 4 years after that, he bore his first grandchild, and 5 years later, she became his best friend. And he enjoyed spending more time with her than with me, and I don't blame him, to be perfectly honest with you. But that's just what it was. He understood the big moments. He understood what was important. He understood what wasn't important, what not to get upset about, and it's something that I'll treasure forever, and I'm a better person for it. Now, the truth is that this is mostly a Hindu ceremony. You see all this stuff here. And when my mom passed away about 20 years ago, I became very intrigued with the Bhagavad Gita and all the things that Babu Mama had spoken about. This idea of eternal life, this idea of, you know, just this amazing sort of philosophy. But just for the sake of this, and because we're already doing a lot of Hindu stuff, I thought I think one of the accusations I got growing up was that I was too Americanized. So if you'll indulge me, I'd like to take an American version of something, not a religious one, but actually it's probably one of my favorite movies of all time. And it's a quote that I never forgot, and it's something that I've been kind of running through my head over the past few weeks since my father passed away. It's from a movie called The Shawshank Redemption, and it's actually at the end of the movie, and I just want to read this and then I'll kind of close out, but this is sort of captures it. I'm going to read it exactly, so I'm going to read off my phone here, but sometimes it makes me sad, though, him being gone. I have to remind myself that some birds aren't meant to be caged. Their feathers are just too bright. And when they fly away, the part of you that knows it's a sin to lock them up does rejoice. But still, the place you live in is that much more drab and empty now that they are gone. I guess I just miss my friend. Thank you.